Someone asked me to make a video where I go more in depth about making word banks. I've talked about making word banks before you do lyric writing in past videos, look those up. But something else that I talk about in conjunction with making a word bank is also coming up with a 5-second scene. I just call it 5 seconds. It doesn't have to be 5 seconds. But it just gives you kind of a space-time context for where this song is happening. It can be really helpful just to give more detail and more visual imagery and more emotional depth to the messaging of your lyric. So let's go through the process of making a word bank. But before we do that, it would really help if we come up with a 5-second scene. So say we want to write something about being on the beach. So that could look like a lot of different things. This is why the 5-second scene helps. Because are we on the beach under the shade of an umbrella by ourselves, just quietly listening to the sound of the waves while we drink an ice cold beverage? Are we playing volleyball with friends? Are we water skiing? Are we walking along the shoreline contemplating life? You know, like, what are we doing on the beach? I'm going to go with that first scenario because it's the most dear to my heart. Is I just love me some shady solitude and the sound of the waves. That's our 5-second scene, is somebody just sipping a cold drink, quietly recharging their batteries on the beach. Let's build a word bank, okay? We're going to go with multiple angles on this. So the first angle we're going to take is details about the real space-time context. So waves, sun, sand, seagulls, shade of an umbrella. What are we drinking? Pina colada, margarita, blueberry mojito, iced tea, Diet Coke. What are we wearing? Big brimmed hat, shades, bikini, bathing suit, toes in the sand. Are we listening to music or just the sound of the waves? Are we in this under the sun, like the blinding glare, the glistening, glittering water, the sun in the sky? Are there clouds? Are there any boats going by? Do you see any water skiers going by? So that's the real space-time detail that we can write about. Next, we're going to jump to somatic and sensory words. We can talk about the smell of the air, the feel of the breeze on your skin, the feel of the sun on your skin. It's cooler in the shade, the feel of the sand between your toes, the feel of your drink in your hand, or the sense of peace and calm, the sense of contentment. And I would be going into my thesaurus and looking up words in the thesaurus, but they're not all lyric worthy in the thesaurus. Just because you've got synonyms for the word content, it doesn't mean that it's like appeased isn't necessarily, the word that you're going to put in there, but like fulfilled, happy, satisfied, and then we click on happy, we go through there and we see not all of them work. Cheerful and ecstatic don't necessarily apply, but like peaceful, pleasant, blessed. Blessed is a good one. Let's click on that one. Let's see what blessed says. So I would be writing all of these words down on the side of my page. I'm getting an ad in my thesaurus. So blessed, yeah, I think that's the only one out of blessed, because divine and exalted and hallowed and redeemed don't really work. But you get the point. Like, you kind of follow the trail of certain concepts. And so you've got your real space-time details. You've got your somatic, sensory details, and then the emotional details. And I would include all of those aspects in my word bank, because that's going to just round out the possibilities when you start to use your word bank as a reference point when you write your lyrics. So I'm going to put on the screen what a word bank might look like for this scene and this song.